Hey everybody, Zee Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at this simple push your luck game from Red Raven Games. This is Megaland. In Megaland, the players are in a video game setting, trying to run through levels, trying to survive, not run out of hearts, and definitely jump out of the level before they do so with as much loot as they can. They'll use that loot to buy different buildings and upgrades, try to get the most coins at the end of the game. Let me give you a look at how it all works together. As I said, there's basically a lot of pushing your luck, and then we'll come on back and I'll tell you what I think of this one. The objective of the game is to have the most coins at the end of the game. The players are going to take turns over and over until someone gets to 20 or more, then that'll be the final round, and whoever has the most is the winner. So this is what the game might look like set up. These buildings are always the same. These 7 here are random out of a possible 17, and the players are going to have a stand, a card in front of them with their heart tokens, and the deck over here with the different items will be shuffled up and placed on the table. So you're going to continue taking turns, like I said, until the end of the game is triggered, and each of those turns has 3 parts. So let me explain this part to you. So everybody's going to go on the level here, and they will draw one of these cards and place it in front of them. So this will be one player, this will be another one, this will be another one, and I'll set these aside for now. But again, this represents one player's board here. Then you are going to start running that level. We would flip over a card. That card is going to possibly hurt you, possibly be nothing, possibly give you more of these items. So in this case, everyone takes 1 hit, and you would mark this by moving 1 heart to the injury side on your board. Once that's done, everyone has to decide whether they are out and they want to stop running this level. They would remove their little marker here and take whatever cards they've got in front of them and cash them in, so keep them, basically lock them in. If you don't want to back out, so let's say all these players are still good to go here, then you would draw a new card to stay in that level. And you add that to the one that's already in front of you, and you flip another card. In this case, it's blank. Everyone is going to say, okay, you know what, I'm good, I'm going to keep on going. And everybody takes a new card, we flip over another one. Hey, look at that, it's blank again. Very nice. Now, let's say one player starts to get nervous because some of these blanks are running out, and some of these cards, especially there's one specifically, that if it comes up will kill them automatically because it's 3 hits. So this player here says, I'm done, I'm out of here. And they will take their cards, lock them in. The other players are still good to go, so again, they'll each draw a card, and we flip over another one. Hey, look at that. Guess you should have stayed in. And this continues until either everyone is gone or someone is eliminated, meaning they lost all their hearts. So let's say, just for the sake of argument here, this player takes their stuff and runs away, and they remove their marker. The other player takes another card, and then the card they flip, I'll just go ahead and find it, is this card, which is 3 hits. Oh, they're eliminated. And they lose all of these cards. They don't get to keep them. These are gone. And then we go to phase 2. So phase 1, running the level. Phase 2, you get to buy cards. And you are going to use the cards you walked away with to buy some of these special buildings. These are going to allow you to get those coins. And to buy them, you need to pay the amounts listed at the top in resources that do not match. So for example, these 2 cards that do not match, there's 20 of these, there's 16 of these, that's what the numbers mean, would allow this player to buy, say, a hospital. And they would take it, they would put it in front of them. It's going to give you some sort of special ability, coins, things like that. If you go to this board here, this one's going to allow you to buy more hearts, to allow you to stay in a level for a longer amount of time. And in this case, you would discard matching cards. So this player might, they have 4 hearts. They might buy their 5th heart for 2 matching cards. And they would just take another heart token here and put it on their board and be done with that. Once that's done and you've spent your cards, then we go to the 3rd phase, which is simply the night phase. We take the star player marker, we rotate that. Everybody resets their injuries, and if you have any cards that trigger at night, they have a little moon symbol, then you would go ahead and do that. And then you shuffle up the level cards and you run that level again. And that's pretty much it. The cards in here are going to damage you. Sometimes this one's a bonus where you draw yet another one of these cards even before you decide if you want to stay in the level or not. That's 2 hits. The bunny over here allows you to give in 3 carrots and draw 3 random cards from the top of the deck. Carrots are the most plentiful. 2 hits, 1, nothing, nothing. Really bad guy here, and nothing. Now you'll see some of these have a little arrow at the top. That means that you may, if you have one of these arrows, you can cash it in before the next card flip to allow you to avoid damage. You don't know if the card will give you damage or not, but you may hope to avoid damage by cashing in one of the arrows there. And you'll get those from cards out here, such as the arena there is going to give you a couple of them. So that's pretty much it. As I said, the game's going to have more decks, 17 in total, and the ones you're using. These are starting decks down here. Those are always in play. And these are random. But that's basically everything you need to know about Megaland. So let's go back up top. Alright, so that is Megaland. Let's talk about it. Let me tell you some of my thoughts here. I'm going to start with thematic ties. The theme here, it sounds a little confused to me. Here's what I mean by that. At no point does the game commit to being a video game theme, but it sure sounds like a video game theme. In the introduction, I even said it's kind of a video game theme. It's not really, but it reads like this. You come to Megaland not for power-ups, but for coins. Search each new level for treasures to build a booming business back in Megaland City. They talk about running levels. They talk about falling. They talk about, all these. They have a lot of sort of video gamey terminology, but you're not in a video game. You're actually visiting a place, running through it, hoping to avoid danger and go back home wherever that is, Megaland City, and build buildings and actually run your little fantasy world. I find it all a little bit sort of confusing. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be in a video game, if the whole Megaland City is a video game. I'm not sure. Not a big deal, but it's not as clear as I wish it was. It would be easier if it's just, hey, yes, this is a video game, run with that. The aesthetics, component quality, artwork, things like that, fantastic, fantastic. I love the artwork in the game. I love all of the components in the game. Insert is superb from Game Trays. They always do fantastic work, and in this game, that's no exception. It is really an impressive design here. So aesthetics through the roof, very well done. Replayability. Does the game scale well, or are there new things to discover from game to game? The gameplay, sort of like the depth of the design, is actually fairly light. It's a simple game. It's not extremely deep, but they do give you a nice amount of replayability in the game. They give you 17 cards of the special cards. You'll be using 7 of them in the game, so you'll be able to play at least twice without seeing a repeat whatsoever. There is that. And after that, then the different combinations will, lead to slightly different games. I did have players that almost immediately, having played one, said, oh my goodness, this is going to need expansions. So I could see that point of view as well. I don't think it needs expansions. I think for a game this quick and light, there is quite a bit of replayability in the box already. But certainly expansions eventually couldn't hurt. The game length, is it interesting the whole time? Does the game get repetitive? Anything like that? I think it's a very tight, punchy game. I like the game length here. I think it works well. It's a game that's going to give you a nice amount of things going on for the short length of time that it takes, and so I like that. Ease of play. Is the game fiddly? Are there any weird extraneous rules, anything like that? For the most part, I have to say, I think the game feels streamlined. There's very few things going on. The decisions are pretty straightforward, keep running or jump out and then spend what cards you've got to get more cards. That's it. The special cards for the building cards. That's pretty much it. So as far as how invested and sort of aware and careful about everything you need to be, that's not very demanding, which is good, seeing as to how that's the target audience here. And that's not a pun. Target is where you're going to be able to find this game because it's a Target exclusive from what I understand. Lastly, tactics and strategy. Is the game balanced? Is it interesting? Does it give you good choices? This is the main part where the game gets a little bit of a ding for me because it is a push your luck game. It's also a short one, and it's one where each run, if you would, is a decent chunk of the overall experience. And by that I mean, if someone pushes their luck, which is part of the fun in the game, and falls and is knocked out, loses, let's say 6 cards, that's a solid setback in this game. You are going to, there is simply no two ways about it, you're going to have a harder time winning the game at the end, you know. So because there are ultimately only a few runs in the game, failing on one is going to discourage players, in upcoming sessions from pushing their luck, meaning that in a push your luck game, you might want to be careful about, like, you might actually not want to push your luck. You see what I'm saying? So that's a little harsh. I'm not sure how I would fix that, right? I mean, without increasing game length, which I don't want to do, and without having the pushing your luck not have any bite, which I don't want to do either. So I'm not sure what the fix is here, and I'm not suggesting one, certainly. I'm no game designer, but I do find that failing at one of those runs can really knock out the wind from your sails, you know? So you're going to want to be careful about that. I find the game a little lucky on that front, you know what I mean? If you jump out and then someone else gets a bunch of extra runs, great, but it's more about that failing and going from quite a few cards maybe to none whatsoever. It's not lose half your cards, it's lose them all. Everybody else just got that much closer to guaranteeing a win over you. So that's basically it. Having said all that, I really like the game. I think it's gorgeous, extremely well produced, light, quick, enjoyable. I like what's going on in it, though the theme's a little confused. And overall, I really, I was fascinated and engaged by this one. It's not a mind-blowing game by any means, but it's one that's lovingly put together, and I did enjoy it. So this one's going to get a seal of approval from me. Definitely would recommend you give it a go, especially if you are looking to play with lighter gamers, maybe in a setting with the family, things like that. Megaland will give you some fun moments and even some good laughs at times. So there you go, seal of approval once again for Megaland. Thanks for checking this out with me. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.